Struggling with prop firms? Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Okay, without wasting any time, and you've probably seen on the thumbnail as well, past Ftmo within 2 days. I'm gonna be going into that obviously. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna be showing all the metrics, everything. And obviously it's a small account, and what I like to show in my community is start small, prove you have an edge. Now obviously this is going to be on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to be showing you the break and retest in a very detailed okay, so we've got our zones. I can see obviously how many winning opportunities are. These are average 1 to 5, 1 to 5. And let me just show you on the, by the way, that's not the Pacific time frame I trade on. Ftmo 10% profit hit, just little 6 trades, 50% win rate, with an average almost 1 to 6 RR. And one trade we hit a 1 to 7 7% trade. I was risking 1% per trade. And the other one, now this one particular one over here, which is 2.5%, this one was basically because you have to, it's not a swing account, so you have to have trades closed, just basically near the end of New York session. And normally market usually gaps anyway, so and spreads just go absolutely crazy. So this trade I was running in profit. If it was a swing account, I would have let it carried on, and then this eventually what it eventually gave me was a 1 to 9, and this would have passed fit, because I was already down 2%. These were my first 2 trades, and within 1 minute I lost each one. I was using a fixed 5 pip stop loss. Normally I use a 4 pip stop, but obviously this one had to be a 5 pip. Why? Because with Ftmo you have a tiny little bit of extra spreads. So let's just go over. By the way, if you're looking for one-to-one mentorship, link will be in the video description. I did post, this is a Discord community, you could join that as well. We're up to about 1400 almost members. So fund certificate section, I posted all all the trades here just to show you for transparency reasons. Exactly matches Ftmo here. There was 7% trade, 2.5%, and then I just needed the just to complete it. So within 2 days. And if you are looking also, again, a super affordable course, probably the most affordable on the internet, 10 detailed videos. And it's again not like your average where you just download PDF files. You will actually receive an email and a password where consistent regular updates, refinements, any consistent updates will be added, videos will be added, so you'll have your own, whether it's up to 100 videos. I will be changing the price in the future. Before I said I wouldn't, but now I will be. Why? Because I can't keep it at that price if there's about 100 videos in there. Currently at 10 videos, so yeah, get your hands on that while you can. If not, it's totally fine if you don't need to as well. So without wasting any time, we're on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to be using UJ for the example. I passed Ftmo using UJ as well, as you can see, only trading UJ. So let's go on to UJ, and you're going to be seeing some particular setups. So again, 4 hours, this is going to be favoring swing traders, but you're going to be seeing as you can consistently still hit 1 to 5s regularly. So we've got the zones marked out. This is for Friday that basically happened, and there's an opportunity to take advantage of on Friday. So we've got our zone marked up here. Now what do I think basically could happen on Monday, starting the new week to the Saturday? Will it exactly happen and play out like that? No. Because why? Because market can do whatever the hell it wants. It doesn't care how I think. So I'm going to just move myself out of the way. So this, as you can see, is a potential head and shoulder pattern forming. Right. So let me just delete this because this is not the right color. If I bring it down here, up here, that's the left shoulder created. Coming down here, the head. Now this possibly could have been the right shoulder and then pushed to the upside. But we could be actually coming back down and completing the move like this. Now obviously you can see price has created this trend over here. Now this obviously completed the move, right? If we're looking at considering this the right shoulder, but sometimes the inverted head and shoulder can have 2 heads as well. So price shoots up, completes the 1 to 5 almost, and now we are still respecting this trend line over here, right? So what could possibly happen starting the new week? 2 scenarios, right? One, price breaking above. You have your, now obviously you can see the stop loss is quite tight. Well, quite big, 30 pips, and you can still hit your 1 to 5 because there is telling us obviously you want to collect more data. You back test as well, but you can see the amount of times 1 to 5s are consistently hit. Even if I give the market the benefit of the doubt and say, let's just, 10 losses. Let's say we want a 10% drawdown, bearing in mind it's a personal account. But with a profit account, and even if you're 5% down, it's, you can see how many times 1 to 5s is a realistic number. And I can even see zones over here as well. And if I was to mark now how to draw the best quality zones, obviously it's something that I touch on in the mentorship and also in the course, but we'll go through it, some of it, while we are here. You want to look for ideally major rejection. You can look on line charts as well. Now I want to go as well, touch on something as well. I don't want anyone thinking, I've just, I've collected my data, I paid my dues, I put in the work. This is on the 4-hour time frame. One blue line to blue line is 1 week, one red line to one red line is 1 month. And you can see on GJ how the amount of work that has been put in. And if it literally just crashes because the amount of drawings. You can see if I even show you here, like, let's see how many drawings, 2,000 drawings. So, and I'm not just, I don't just stop there. I've taken even, going further, I was putting on an Excel sheet, because you need to have the data, right? The confidence, that's where the confidence comes from. It comes from your data. So, you know what we're going to do? Let's break some of these entries down. Right now, this is bearing in mind if you want to price trading off resistance levels only. But when you trade the break and retest, you want to focus on breakouts, obviously, right? So what we're going to do is, obviously, we've got this double bottom pattern forming here. Well, it's actually formed over here. Not the best quality of arrows I'm drawing. So double bottom here, indicating price should, continue pushing further up, which exactly it does. Now you can take the trend into consideration, but let's look at how we could have taken this entry. So we've got our breakout over here. You can go to a 1-hour time frame. Exactly, look at this. How beautiful is that, right? We've got on the small time frame, the double bottom becomes even cleaner. Super strong bullish, a little bit of a mini trend here. Breakout, price comes back down to test, retest. Now what happens here? Does anyone notice something over here? Look at this. You can see over here, apologies, I'm not going to edit any of that. I like to keep my videos raw. What you can see over here is a lot of bearish candles starting to fade away. The sellers starting to fade away, and bullish candles are forming now. Momentum, there's a momentum shift. Buyers have taken control, and price now starts shooting higher. Now, where could you have taken your entry from? When you see this long wick rejection, strong bullish candle forming, stops, below the wick, and it's also below the zone as well. Entry as soon as the candle prints, and look at this. Now, if I go on a smaller time frame, the entry just become cleaner and cleaner, right? Look at this again, momentum shift. You can now, obviously, this is a bullish engulfing. You take your entry after this one. It's going on a 15-minute time frame. Now, that does not mean you take your entries very, very early. Why? Because sometimes, look at this. You got this long wick rejection bullish candle over here. You would have lost the trade. This one, this bullish candle is okay as well, but why shouldn't you take it basically from here? Because this is formed below the zone. Any bullish candle forming below the zone, resistance should I say, doesn't really have that much value. If it's formed above the zone, it has more value. There's like a double bottom pattern formed here as well. There's actually an inverted head and shoulder pattern formed as well. Let me just draw this one out. Left shoulder. This is the head. Right shoulder. And then push to the upside. So you can use these as confluences as well. And then that completes the move. Let's look at any other examples as well. Let's go back on the... Now this is on the 4-hour time frame. You can use smaller time frames. But obviously the bigger time frames that you use, yes, you have to wait a little bit longer, but then again the win rate increases, right? Bigger time frame candles hold more value. So now what do we see here? Breakout. Let's go on the 1-hour time frame. Price breaks through, breakout here. Now obviously my advice would be, we got support level respected. Now you can use the 4-hour, the time frame that you're drawing the zones on. You can use that same time frame to wait for the breakout. Then you go down to the small time frame. That's a little tip for you there. Breakout, because obviously if you're going to wait for the 1-hour time frame, this would fall to breakout as well. Breakout here, price, they can wait for 2 candle breakouts as a confirmation, not just one. Normally it could just be just a breakout and then boom, price just fake out, but you got one breakout, another breakout, wait for price. Just make sure patience. Price comes back up, Now you can go to a small time frame for a entry, and as you can see on the 30-minute time frame. Now my biggest edge is the way I draw my zones. Long wick rejection here. You ideally above the support level. You can have it above the, you know, you would be okay, 920 pip stop loss, but above the zone as well, and then that's why you get a nice clean big move. Press play. No, you know, and you can see, you don't have to, you know, if you backtest this again, you know, backtest data is super important. I can't put enough emphasis on it, because how can you know what's happened in the future, or what might happen in the future, if you don't even know what's happened in the past, right? I'll give you an example. If you're about to cross a bridge, right, and data tells you, or information, there's a sign saying 100 people crossed this bridge in the past, only 90 people were successful in crossing it, 10 people unfortunately fell, right? Would you cross the bridge? Maybe. You might be very careful, but you might, you know, 90 people were successful. Would you cross the bridge though if you said 90 people fell off the bridge and only 10 people were successful? No, you might take a step back, maybe 10 steps back. Again, you know, it was data, it was information from the past that helped you make that decision. Just like that, you know, backtest this, collect your data, and only data in the end, only data wins, right? Of course, journal, you know, backtested data is data from the past. Journal is data, is still data, right? Journaling is data, you know, collected from the present moment. And obviously you obviously can't see the future, so you don't really have data for the future, but what you can do is collect that data from the present, the past, and you know, apply it and add your own you know, when you obviously refine your strategy, when you're, you know, adaptability, when you're, you know, working on your psychology, then that's how you can take it to your forward testing, and then even live trading, and then, you know, that's how you make improvements and gain those, you know, have those impacts on your P&L. So why have I drawn these green lines here? Well, these are like trend lines as well. You know, it gives you an idea where, you know, trend. Look at this double bottom pattern formed here. Take a buy from here, right? Why would you take a sell from here? Well, this was the left shoulder, the head. So you got to take a, you know, listen, price action, the big important patterns on the bigger time frame, because they do play a role. They definitely play a role, right? Look at this double bottom here as well. Not the cleanest, but still it's a bullish trade. You know, price turns bullish. You got a nice super strong bullish equal. Look at this quality candle here, super strong, very bullish, a lot of volume. Look at the size compared to the previous candles, you know, and obviously trading with the trend. And let's see what we got here. Bearish trend here. What should you think you need to focus on? Sells. You might see an opportunity to take a buy, but obviously, you know, your sells would have outweighed your buys. So I hope you found value from this, and you know, obviously you need a edge, and this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, you know. And if you are looking for a one-to-one mentorship from myself, because right now the biggest kick I'm getting right now, guys, is when an unprofitable trader joins the community, joins the mentorship, and then starts posting his payouts. And it's all about transparency. You can check out testimonials, you know, and just to know that once, if you do join, you know, you will be in good hands. And yeah, so link will be in the video description. I hope you found value from this. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Take care.